Hi, I'm Anna,
And I'm Ben.
and we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Death Note, episode 36, One Step Closer to the End.
Definitely.
And I'm about to break because Nier is the only one left that, I have faith in. Aizawa. Nier and Aizawa are the only two left who are, closing in-ish on Light because Mellow's dead. Kiyomi's dead. Both of them died last episode.
It was a really big episode last episode. Really heart-wrenching in a way because it totally felt like Kiyomi knew what was happening and that this was kind of her fate in this moment. And to hear her still saying to Light, almost like pleading with him for that not to be the case, was really hard. And then also killing off such a well-designed character within the first episode of seeing them, unfair. Killing off Mello was honestly a shock. I did not see that coming. I saw more of Mello and Nier joining together at the end or something.
Was it
not
stupid by Mello? Like it was all he seemingly could do in the moment, to go this route.
I don't know if it was stupid by him. I wonder if he felt like this is all I can do for the case.
Should he have been well, there's a chance that Kiyomi could have Shinigami eyes? I don't know.
Part of me feels like in that moment where he said this was all I could do.
Yeah.
It was knowing that whatever he did here could possibly help Nier or something.
We still
that
have
was maybe the vibe I got.
The faint idea that maybe Nier was a part of this or had some recording or something
with
there.
How the SPK agent.
Yeah, the SPK agent seemingly, I don't know, it was a little weird last episode because it seemed like she got a call right before Nier showed up to the event, and it was very weird.
Before Mello showed up?
Before Mello showed up, my fault. Before Mello showed up, because he was like, "Oh, come with me!" Put Kiyomi right on the back of my motorcycle.
Which was so silly to me because they were a foot or two away from the doors to the building.
Yeah.
So I was like, honestly,
and then
your argument that she would be safer with him, I don't know if I believe that.
And then I couldn't tell if it was a visual trick or not, that the visor was blacked out sometimes. Did the SPK agent know it was Mello because of a predetermined plan? Or did she know it was Mello because she could see through his visor? And then she shows up right at the place where Mello was keeping Kiyomi at the end. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. That's a little bit of maybe Nier has an in kind of thing. I kind of hope he does.
I feel like it was totally a plan and that we're going to hear exactly what the plan was. Maybe now.
Yeah, I am expecting them to meet at that warehouse.
Yeah.
That Nier
I guess they're
bought.
still going to go through with that.
I would think so, but I'm not sure. With both teams in full.
You
made a good point that I was scared that Mikami wasn't going to be able to do anything because he was being tailed, but if both of the full teams are there, then Mikami will have a chance to do something.
And then we talked about it in our free time. We talk about some of these shows that we're watching, and we were talking about Aizawa and how we both would feel really good if if the ending of the show is Kira's downfall and or Kira being caught, then we both are hoping that Aizawa has a bigger role in that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can imagine it's pretty divisive that the show didn't end after episode 25. L was such a lovable character. I know that we loved him. And the fact that he died and lost, quote unquote, to Kira and Light isn't a problem in itself, but it could be a problem if, let's say, Nier defeats Light and it doesn't feel like L was a part of that case being solved. It could leave a little bit of like a bitter taste in your mouth that like, oh, this other character that was kind of like Elle came in and solved like the thing Elle couldn't.
I know. Like Aizawa's been there obviously since the beginning. He even had that moment where he stepped away from the team and came back. Per Elle's suggestion, and came back even stronger, came back even more dedicated. And now he's almost kind of in this, how I view him in the series is kind of filling Chief Yagami's role for me. And so that's why it would be, if the downfall of Kira in some capacity is the end, I would so much rather Aizawa have a role in it, a bigger role than Nier. And like, remember when Nier was kind of like, Aizawa, don't do anything without me saying, or you don't have to do anything. And I was like, you're grinding my gears. Let this man work.
I mean, like, obviously we've been told or led to believe that Nier, Mello, Elle, Light are miles above Aizawa and like intelligence, IQ, planning, whatever. That being said, it would feel more fulfilling to me as well if Aizawa was the
especially
nail
on that
casket.
point.
Yeah,
that we're being told that all of these other characters are miles ahead.
That is if Kira is defeated and if he's caught. Because if he's not and he succeeds, that's great. That's fine. Do we get to
see what the world is like 20 years later from that?
But then that brings into question, why, if he wins, why not end it on episode 25 when Elle loses, you know? Like, so it's a very interesting set piece.
Right, they could have ended it with Elle's death and then hearing the narrator talk about what the world has become.
Yeah, or just like 30 years into the future, or I don't know, something. Narratively, it would seem weird for me to have Elle lose and the story continue on after that if Light wouldn't win, you know? I don't know, if Light would lose. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Because he's also in this weird position of how you as the viewer view him. Are you viewing him as the person that needs to be stopped? I mean, even if you like him as a character and you're also following him and his path, it's like, it's kind of this, I've never read and or watched something that made me feel so like, I don't know what I want to happen with this character, because I'm both like, I want to see him beat, and then the other half of me is like, but Light is such a like well-written character, I like him, and it would be interesting to me to see someone kind of he's turning a little bit more and more like he has less grounds for what he's doing now. Like, obviously killing Takeda last episode with the floaty words of telling her that she was going to be the goddess and that he wanted to be with her. It, like, obviously he's done a lot of things that didn't settle right with me. But it's like, he's not just killing innocent people.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's not just killing criminals. He's also killing people that aren't like murderers necessarily.
Yeah. So I was watching Blind Wave's like tier lists they were doing the other day, and it's so interesting when you're trying to rate. I have like a My Anime list that I do like scores and stuff. It's very interesting when you try to rate different anime or shows that you've watched, because you have to take into consideration, oh, the second season of Haikyuu was 10 out of 10, amazing, but that is a different score than what you'd rate a series in all. The animated show of Haikyuu isn't finished, so it's really difficult to rate the series as a whole. Right. Whereas Death Note, there's going to be an ending. I've loved it up to this point. Like, you have to be able to rate and judge a series as a complete series in its own right, and I'm hoping that they manage to stick the landing where it remains is high regard in my head after the fact, after the last episode.
Because honestly, if they don't stick the landing for the end, part of me might wish that they did end earlier.
Yeah,
so that I could have been, wow, that whole 25 episode season was amazing.
They've like that own self-contained little story. Yeah, and they added on 12 more episodes. I have no reason to doubt it because I loved the show so much, right? They like masterfully handled Elle's death. They like episode 25 is like one of my favorite episodes of anything ever. So I just have like a little butterfly in my stomach, like I'm on a roller coaster.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, whatever happens in this episode is just completely setting up a finale episode.
Yeah.
And I know that the plan is to kill Nier. And I know that Nier is closing in as well. Possibly. Especially if Mello's plan was something that Nier knew about and was considering in his own plans. Mm-hmm. And now they're going to all meet team and team face to face in that warehouse.
There was that little like offhanded comment that Nier had that was like, "Oh, I have a way of contacting Mello, but he wouldn't answer under the circumstances." Mm-hmm. Maybe that was like, utilized beforehand. I don't know. I'm nervous, but I am ready. You? Mm-hmm. Sweet. Where would you rank this opening song in regards to like other anime openings that you know? Is it hard to rank?
I am very into this song because it's so different than, I mean, like, as we've talked about on the channel, I mostly watch things that would probably be considered romance or slice of life, or and this is very different musically, but I'm really into it. It reminds me of my high school days. Like, I would have been so into this in high school. Like, I listened to a lot of, like, screamo and rock.
I need to re-listen to the first OP and then this one after the series is over because it's a close call. I didn't think it would be. I thought that the first one would easily win, but I love this so much.
Yeah.
On the 28th at 1 p.m.
What is your plan with this?
Take off. You can use this blanket.
Takeda, are you all right?
I love Mello so much.
It is with great sorrow that I must announce the passing of one of our very own colleagues, Miss Kiyomi Takeda. And a motorcycle were also found in the ruins of the burned-out church. Investigators suspect gasoline was used to start the fire.
You were right about the gasoline. I was wondering how she was going to start the fire, and you made a great point about the motorcycle being in there.
128 is the day of the meeting, right? Mm-hmm. Looks like a Walmart Mello in the top right.
It needs to be said, this is not a woman's job. Kira, please make me your new representative.
Look at his eyes.
Yeah.
Every TV station airing its own segment on who should replace her. It's like she never existed.
Last night's judgments unfolded just as planned. There's nothing to worry about. Hello, Al.
Yes?
I wanted to confirm that we are still set for the 20th.
Still on.
Okay, not canceled.
It's just as I predicted. He's sticking with the original time.
The 28th, the day after tomorrow.
His shade of blue's lighter than Elle's was, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but wonder what Nier wants to show us.
His toy collection.
His Christmas tree.
We might all be killed. Don't you understand that?
They don't.
Aww.
Okay, that was spooky. I thought he had a mask on.
So, he has to have known Mello died, no? I was wondering if there was going to be like an emotional reaction.
They might have had a deal for Mello to contact him at a certain time if he was a part of it.
All right, Nier. I need you to connect me with Mogi. We have the notebook locked away here, and in order to open the safe it's kept in, we'll need the PIN number from each member of the team.
That's a good place to have it.
Number is 62-324.
That's so cool that they locked it and each of them had a number for it.
Right?
It makes them all feel secure in it.
Whoa.
Nier, it's me. We've discussed it, and it's been decided that I'll be the one to carry the notebook.
Are you sure it's all right with you if Mr. Aizawa carries it? Be honest.
Of course.
Well then, we'll see you shortly.
It does feel like we're like getting to the top of something though, you know?
I want to know what Nier is thinking.
Me too.
I want to know what his plan is, because I know that he is also guessing what Light's moves are.
Yeah.
This is the end.
And Light seems really confident right now.
Yes.
And those who know of the notebook's existence, all of them will die.
This is music we haven't heard.
Nier's inside. I checked it out.
Cool imagery. What is this song?
I know. It's like we're watching it on a screen, but there's like an orchestra below in a pit.
This reminds me of like Kingdom Hearts or something. I'm obsessed with it. He's wearing L's face.
Is he wearing that so his face can't be seen? Is it a precaution?
Probably.
Or is it to mess with him because it's like a mask?
Maybe a little bit of both. Or maybe it's like a, oh, I know what L's supposed to look like. You know?
Nier, you're far inferior to L. You have no right to be wearing the mask of L.
Those 4 are the SPK, and the one wearing
4.
the mask is Nier.
He can go around accusing people of being Kira, but the fact that he's wearing a mask says he's only trying to protect himself, not anyone else.
There's a good possibility that Kira has already seen the faces of everyone in this warehouse except for mine. So I'd like to wait for 1 hour. No, make it 30 minutes.
You're gonna wait and see if we die?
Where's Mikami? They never disappoint when it comes to this kind of stuff.
I never thought it would be this hard to keep myself from laughing out loud. Waiting for him to come. It's all just as I predicted.
Nier! It's already been over 30 minutes. Nothing's happened yet.
Everyone seems to be safe. I'll remove my mask now.
Please be wearing a second mask.
You're quiet, Nier. What's wrong?
Waiting. That's an excellent choice of words for the arrival of the one who will solve everything once and for all.
Someone else is supposed to clear this up?
There's only one entrance to this building, and the only way to look inside is by opening that door.
And just who is this person anyway?
Ex-Kida, the one who is currently
Mikami?
using the notebook and killing people on Kida's behalf. Or rather, he'll write down the names of everyone here who knows about the notebook, and kill them.
What are you trying to tell us, Nier? That some other guy's gonna drop by with the notebook, poke his head in, and kill us all?
Yes, that's correct. Now listen carefully. If someone comes into the warehouse through that door, just let him in without resisting. He's already here.
God!
They wouldn't just let this happen.
How is this gonna end without all of them dying?
Not the real notebook?
Because I modified the notebook. We took brief possession of the notebook and replaced the pages.
But he already made a replica notebook.
Every day. Based on that, I was able to replace the page he would use today.
You saw Light still smiling, right?
Right.
He's so passionate.
No, I think the plan was to kill himself afterwards. After he finished writing all of them.
On the other side of that door is ex-Kida. Whoever's name is not written down must be Kida.
Good plan.
Can he hold it back any longer?
Maybe the ego's gonna get him.
I knew all along you had tampered with the notebook. Nier, you've been completely defeated. The notebook you altered was nothing more than a forgery I had Mikami prepare, hidden until now.
Is there like another thing that Nier has under his sleeve? You know what I mean?
I had had Mikami create a fake notebook for himself. He also sent Takeda several pages from the real one. He'd be noticed by anyone who was following him. But Takeda was the one behind the deaths.
Yeah, see, her cell phone's
Mikami
open.
simply sent the names and faces. This little performance was how I made the SPK believe that the notebook Mikami used was the real one. As if he always fills exactly one page with names every day. Head to the page he'd use on the day of this meeting. Then you replaced all the pages from that day onwards. That's why you couldn't change the date and time of our meeting.
I remember that.
I'm dying to see you.
This game as soon as I got that message. Did have a chance to win. If only you'd taken it. You were just too naive. You're nothing compared to Elle. Elle would have considered the possibility of a fake notebook from the very beginning.
Oh, I miss him so much.
So disappointed in you. This victory was no fun. You tried too hard.
I feel like there has to be something else, right?
Now I want Nier to show that he's like Elle.
All thought in 0.01 of a second.
You there outside. Have you finished writing down the names in the notebook?
Yes, I've written them.
They're all gonna die. 40 seconds after he wrote down their names. 30...
Don't you think it's rather odd? Why would he answer you so quickly, calmly, and honestly when you asked him if he had written down our names yet?
Perhaps he's seen through your brilliant plan.
Huh? In that case, we're in big trouble.
Brilliant plan.
Teru Mikami. If it's not too much trouble for you, won't you please come in and join us?
Teru Mikami, is it? He's correct. There's no reason to hide from us.
He was looking for approval. Oh my god. I love how theatric he is.
You've done well, Mikami. How many seconds has it been since you wrote down the first name?
30 seconds.
31. 32.
What was the first name?
Probably Nier, no?
38. 39. Well, Nier, looks like I win.
40!
Oh my god.
That's just messed up.
That was such a great, like, cut off in a horrible way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that was the worst and best placement for a to-be-continued screen ever.
Ever. That was messed up.
I don't know.
Ugh.
I honestly couldn't tell you if I believed that Nier was even ahead of that, you know?
If he is, we don't know about it, right? Like, there's not even, like, the slightest hint. At one point, I was like, is Elle even dead at this point? Like,
I know.
I was
Part
like...
of me was like, a little bit like, is Elle actually on the other side of the door? And he's ready to come in and surprise everyone? That kind of speech that Light did within his head about how Nier is like nothing compared to Elle. Honestly, it was totally, I feel like it was totally there to make you kind of like hope that Nier could compared in some way and prove Light wrong.
It was almost like an interesting little like game to the audience. Like, oh, I know you don't compare or think Nier's up to it, but what if Nier thought about what Elle would do, considered that, and realized that the fault in that would be voicing it, and then you'd understand. I mean, like, the only reason Elle would have considered there to be a second notebook and we would have known it is if he voiced it to the team or Light. What if Nier has thought that, considered it, and just didn't voice it to anybody because he suspected Light from the beginning? Like,
right. I mean, if he suspected Light from the very beginning, then he's going to be very picky with whatever he says to Light in order to get some future reaction over him.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I find it very hard to believe that Nier wouldn't have been able to think about Mikami having made a fake notebook to carry around.
I agree.
Especially, I mean, like, that phone call picture, like, the cell phone picture on, you know, was, like, so obvious. It's not even like he was, like, hiding his phone behind I mean, obviously that was drawn for us, but it looked pretty obvious that he took a picture and sent it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I like the whole like, oh, I counted the pages to the day because Mikami's so methodical with using up a full page every day.
But it also seems kind of easy.
It seems very easy. Like it seems like it's very like 2-dimensional and not like 17-dimensional, which I'm like used to with the show.
And it would be so much more satisfying if it turns out that Nier was ahead of that as well.
My only real question, other than what the hell happens next episode, is this real that Light voiced this out loud? Looks like I won. Looks like I win at 39 seconds.
Okay, well, normally when it's inside his head, it's like red. And he's like very red. His eyes are red. It's like time has stopped.
This time it isn't. We see his mouth move. Like we see,
and we're supposed to see Nier's eyes looking kind of like L's.
Yeah,
you know, we don't see his like facial expression. Like we don't see what his mouth is doing in this moment. Like, is he still smiling? You know,
I don't think they would end this episode if everything went according to plan. Like, if all of them die and Light wins, they wouldn't have ended the episode
They would have ended
here.
there. They would have kept it going. This was a weird ending spot for it to not have some type of something happening after.
Which makes me think that something is, like, going to have went awry.
Part of me wondered, what if Mikami decided to kill off Light in order to become Kira himself fully?
I don't think he'd do it.
I know, I don't think he would,
yeah,
but like,
it would be interesting.
Light's putting a lot of trust in the fact that Mikami sees him as a god that he couldn't replace and that gave him this power.
What could Nier have done? Like, unless he has known the whole time, not only that it was a fake notebook and there's a real one somewhere else, but he'd have to know the location of the real one as well to switch them out. Right? Like,
right.
I thought at one point, like, maybe Nier was going to try to have Aizawa, like, write Teru Mikami's name in his notebook. Like, before
to test
this
if
had
that
even,
one's real, too.
Or before this whole thing could have even happened. Like, Light's expecting Teru to be outside, but it's actually, like, no one because Teru's already dead. I don't know, man.
I mean, that is a good thing to bring up. Like, what if that was a secret mission that Aizawa had before they got here, was to write that Teru wrote a bunch of fake names in the book instead or something? I don't know, but Aizawa seems as surprised as everyone else, but a little more, like, willing to go along with it. It's like he understands that this is necessary when, like, Matsuda is just like, I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, come on, dude.
I liked Light's reaction to him wearing the face of L.
He was so upset.
Yeah,
it
I really
grinded
enjoyed
his
that.
gears
Yeah.
to see that.
I'm trying to find the shot of them, like, looking back through the fan. You know what I mean? It looked like there was, like, something back there, like a camera or something. It's very hard to find things in this show because everything looks the same color.
I don't know what shot you're thinking of, so
It was one of the pannings,
I
like,
can't
just,
really
like,
help
exploring the place before he took his mask off, but it's whatever.
what would a camera do?
Oh, yeah,
though?
right. Oh, it's not a camera. But I was thinking, like, oh, what if they were all willing to die, but this is being broadcast, like, to the world or
That
something?
would be cool, but then a lot of people would also be like, I support him.
Yeah, very true.
So, like, I mean, obviously, if all of the TV stations are broadcasting some form of support, I mean, if the media is most of what people see during the day, then they're gonna feel like, oh, well, then it's okay, it's acceptable to support Kira.
So, if next episode it opens and somehow Mikami's notebook doesn't work, the only, like, Light is completely cornered and only has the piece of the notebook that's in his watch, and he has verbally said that Nier lost. That's all it, like, take, really. Everybody else has guns, you know?
Yeah. I don't even think Light has a gun on him. I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
Yeah, he plays it like Chief Yagami. No gun. Man, it's coming to a close. I don't know. I'd be surprised. I'd be more surprised if Mikami's notebook worked at this point.
I honestly, because there's another full-on episode after this, I would also be really surprised if they all just died.
Yeah.
One after the other.
Which is weird because
10 seconds.
Everything we've been given, like verbally, has told us that Light has won this. Right.
Which is why it's totally compelling to say he hasn't.
Yeah.
Why would the creator of the Death Note proclaim that Light is the winner right before the story's over?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be just such a interesting ending if it ended with him actually being the winner?
Light?
No, I meant here in this case, don't have him proclaim he's the winner and then show everyone dying or something. They could have done that in 5 seconds and then that could have been the end. But there's a full-on episode. So I'm how do you, in 20 minutes, go from him proclaiming to have won and still winning?
Yeah.
With it feeling like you needed that other episode.
Agreed.
Unless it's look where the world is now, then that could be interesting.
This is how we're picking up the pieces after Kira, or I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm even more curious in how they're gonna end it at this point.
Me too. I guess my last shout out is my last comment is a shout out to Mikami's theatrical performances always.
I love it.
He is so fun to watch.
He really is.
He's delete. And I'm is he audibly saying delete? Can they hear him yelling delete really, really loud? Because that's pretty funny.
In my head canon, 100%. And it's
100% they're all in this room and beyond the door, they're just hearing delete.
I wanted a shot of in the room, everybody sitting there, but then you hear a mumble delete.
I know. That's what I was imagining.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But no, he's so theatrical, and I love it. He takes this, we had a 30-second long clip.
It was long. I don't know why it was so long for him to write just a handful of names.
He had to be neat about it.
Oh, he is very obsessive with how it looks.
How, pulling out their guns, don't do anything, everything's fine, you won't die.
I think it is, of course, it would be Matsuda that would be the first one to pull out their gun.
I didn't see, I could be wrong here. I don't know why this would make a difference, really, but I didn't see the notebook on Aizawa's chest here.
I think it's under his jacket. It was strapped to his button down.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Interestingly enough, it was placed over his heart.
I saw that. I was ooh.
And I part of me was do they think it's bulletproof? Oh, is it in a bulletproof container? And
I don't
so that it's
think
also
so.
protecting his heart?
How cool of a visual would it be to see a bullet go through a death note into somebody's heart, though? Just visually.
Well, I don't want Aizawa.
I don't either. I'm just saying it'd be kind of cool.
And isn't it interesting that at the beginning of this episode, it was Aizawa narration at some point?
Yeah.
We were really getting to hear some of his internal thoughts.
Yo, if the notebook doesn't work that Mikami has, Mikami's gonna lose his shit.
He's gonna, honestly, he'd probably kill himself or something if he felt he let down the god. So I'm not really.
I don't think
he would not react well to
even
this not being a success.
Even if Light hadn't verbally said "I win," I don't think Mikami could have kept his cool or could keep his cool if it didn't work. He'd be apologizing ridiculous,
He would make it clear who was Kira in the room by apologizing. I mean, just the fact that Light yelled out to him and Mikami immediately was yes.
It was
and Mira was isn't that suspicious, guys?
It was
and
one of those.
Maybe he's just polite. I'm
It reminded me of one of those videos that you a dog runs away and 3 years later you're he's really sad sitting by a tree and then you're Mikami? And he's like, what? Yes! He's so excited.
So Mikami is Light's dog.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's funny how it's so hard for Light to keep himself from laughing.
I don't think we've ever seen him have such an issue keeping himself from showing on his face.
This is the most uncomposed we've ever seen Mikami. You know?
Which is why I felt like he must have also written his own name. Because, I mean, I feel like Light would plan for, especially if Mikami was allowed to present himself, the plan of, because didn't Light say everyone who knows about the notebook will die? That would include Mikami.
Mm-hmm.
So he totally wrote his name after. And I think that would fit the more unhinged, like...
I agree, but it's like... I don't know. I don't know what to, like, think right now. How would... Like, obviously, I don't feel like Light wins in this instance, right? Like, I just... Like, the feeling is weird. But I can't explain how he wouldn't win. I can't explain what Nier would have done.
I can't explain how we fix the notebook situation.
Yeah.
I can't... I mean, obviously, it's possible. I mean, it was possible throughout this whole series that especially Elle thought of things that we weren't necessarily thinking of as steps ahead. So it's totally possible that Nier did something crazy that we don't know about. And I believe that it is so hard for me to believe that Nier came to this meeting with nothing more than what he's already said.
Agreed.
That would be a shock.
Where's Ryuk at, man? We haven't seen him in a while. I miss him. All right, that's all I have. I want to watch next episode really bad.
Okay, yeah, that's all I have too.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.